All right. Hi, everybody. It is Thursday evening, about just before 7:15 on this Thursday evening. We're closely watching some storms out here, and it's the one that's right there, not far from the Cookeville area. It's actually this area north of I-40 that's been a little bit stronger than others. So I just want to kind of get out ahead of things and just kind of give you an update on what's happening out there, because I'm sure if you're watching our early evening newscast, we were talking about a weather alert update and weather status of the evening, and that's where we stand right now. Again, it's been one of these conditional sort of things where you got added energy a little bit farther north, and that's where these storms are firing up. But that one in particular might head just southeast enough and might affect northern Cumberland County, 6:30 Central beyond that time. But you'll have to wait and see. But we'll take a closer look at that storm. Elsewhere locally at the moment, not a whole lot going on. But it's that one storm right there, and I'll show you a loop just over the past hour. And you can see that thing kind of moving along to the east about 40 miles an hour. It's just north of the Cookeville area, and there has been some rotation, and that is a tornado warning with that. Let me show you the updated outline. Let me put the glasses on here. You can see a little bit better. Again, this is not in the viewing area. It's just outside, but it does include areas like Jackson, Overton, and Putnam County, Tennessee. Not Jackson County, Alabama, just so you know. Jackson, Overton, and Putnam County, Tennessee, till 6:30 Central. That's 7:30 Eastern. And that is a tornado warning. It's a Doppler radar indicated tornado warning. That storm moving to the east at about 40 miles an hour. We'll pull up our velocity scan. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. You can see it's just north of the Cookeville area. And right here is the northern part of Cumberland County, so we'll keep an eye on that. It may clip just north of there, but nevertheless, we're keeping an eye on that. So with the velocity scan on there, and you can see where the rotation is. It's right in here. And if you kind of move this back and forth just a little bit, you can see it just a little bit better. Kind of right in here, which is just south of the Burriston area and just to the northwest of Cookeville. Excuse me. And moving east at about 40 miles an hour. So again, we're just kind of keeping a close eye on these things just outside the viewing area that may clip just the northern part. And we'll kind of watch that for the next short while and see if it has any impact on Cumberland County with time. Let me zoom in a little bit closer here. You can see, I'll take the velocity scan off. That storm is basically right between Mount Union, south of Gainsboro, and right near Highway 56. Just northwest of Cookeville. So again, it's outside our viewing area. See, I-40 is right here. So it's north of I-40, but we're closely watching it because again, with time, it could clip that far northern part of Cumberland County. Probably the storm itself will pass well north of Crossville, because I know we have viewers there in Crossville, but beyond that part of the plateau is where that storm would be making it close to. So there's this movement over the past hour. It's a very fast mover moving to the east at 40. We'll put a tracker on here for this, just that part of the storm itself. So if it stays on that clip, again, might have some impact in northern Cumberland. We'll just see with time. But again, these are all areas outside our viewing area: Rickman, Crawford, over to Banner Springs, which you may have, family, friends who live there. Let's see. Hello, Darlene. Thanks for watching. Hello, Gary, Ronald. Another Darlene. There's two Darlenes watching tonight. Elizabeth, Bernadette, Joseph, Cheyenne. Thanks for watching. And that's what we're here for. Just kind of keep you updated on what's happening out there as we, what I call babysit the radar, kind of keep an eye on things. So that's the storm there that's causing that tornado warning, again, near the Cookeville area. And just to show you again, it's a pretty, decent amount of rotation here. You can see it just from a reflectivity point of view. A little bit of a hook right there. But if you take a look at it from a velocity point of view, where we look inside at the wind, again, you can see right in there. Get my cursor out. Come on, computer, don't be stubborn. Right in there. So it's just north and west of Cookeville. I'll move the a little bit. You can see where it's moving right there, right in here. So it's a very broad rotation there. So we'll keep an eye on that as it moves off to the east. We'll come back to that momentarily. Again, across the rest of our viewing area, it's all quiet. It's all quiet. And really, if you look at this, that's really the most active storm. There are other warned storms up here over Kentucky, and that's where a lot of the energy exists. There's an area of low pressure up there, trailing front. So what the majority of our viewing area is watching is going to be the front that stretches right about here. Okay. And so it's that front that as it moves southeast with time, we'll have to see if there's any energy out in this area that generates any storms. But for now, it looks like the greatest energy that is tapping into is this area right along just east of Nashville, and these that are going into eastern parts of Kentucky. And that's where the Storm Prediction Center outlined that area. So it's not a, for us, for the majority of our viewing area, it's more conditional. And again, this shows you just look back in the entire radar view. There are several severe thunderstorm warnings, a couple of tornado warnings there, and the front itself is draped right about here. So you can see right where the wind shift is right there. So we'll keep an eye on what happens with these cells. Again, there's been a lot of cloud cover in that area, not as much instability, not as much energy to provide the fuel for the storms, but there has been consistently in this area, which is actually, I believe I've got that on the front here. I'm going to show you the front lines up. There was an area of low pressure that's kind of probably just washed out along the front. That was a little bit stronger. So that's where a lot of this is occurring. And we'll have to see if that energy goes more east and if anything redevelops back here. But so far back in here, where we're watching for the majority of the viewing area, not as much has been developing. But there's that low that was earlier helping energize things just a bit. Now it's kind of washed out along the front, and then the front itself is dropping south and east. So again, I think our timeline of anything that does develop strong is going to be primarily this evening and then quickly exiting after midnight. But again, it's been this area north and northeast has been a bit more of an issue across a large part of the viewing area. Let me go back and I'll show you the outline from the Storm Prediction Center here. It'll take just a second. So this was the threat level, and we've been providing this since this afternoon. Talked about it on the newscast tonight. That'll change here. There we go. There's the level 2 threat. And just to zoom in a bit, again, if you drew a line from, say, Dunlap, Tracy City, Soddy Daisy, Athens, Decatur, and North, you're under that level 2 slight risk for a few severe storms. And then it drops off dramatically the farther southeast you go. And most of this has been will be during the evening hours, and then energy kind of moving away after midnight. As far as the severe threats, of course, the damaging wind threat is a higher risk factor of all of them, 50% chance compared to 5% farther east. But as we've seen with that warning for that tornado warned storm near Cookeville, again, they're in that 2% area. It sounds like a low chance, right? And it is a low chance, 2%, but there is a warning in that 2% area. So we got to be mindful, be aware of that for areas north and west. Can't ignore it. It's not zero, but it is low and something nevertheless to keep an eye on. There's that future track. I want to show you that again. This model, say this model is correct. It still favors north and northeast having the better chance for these stronger storms moving by. And then once we get to around midnight, energy kind of zaps away. So through the overnight hours, kind of really just trends on out of here. So it's not something that lasts all night long, but something that nevertheless we're tracking. So let's go back to that storm there near Cookeville. And there are two things here. You see this outer box is a severe thunderstorm warning box. And then within that was issued first. And then they issued the tornado warning after that. So that storm passing just north of Cookeville. And that warning for the tornadoes out till 6:30 Central. Probably get extended farther east. So we'll have to just see if it includes any part of Cumberland County with any extension. So that's what we're keeping a close eye on right now. Let's take a closer look at that again. And this from a velocity point of view. If you back up just a little bit, see there's a little bit more reflectivity in here. Might have been some hail, heavy downpours and hail. And reflectivity is a little bit less there. It's kind of going up the plateau a little bit. Let's take a look at the velocity scan there. Yeah, it's still there. That broad rotation is still there. So that's just to the west of Rickman, just to the north of Cookeville. And again, the direction of movement is east at 40. So moving in that general direction, close to Highway 111, which runs east of Cookeville and north and east toward the Rickman area. So if you're familiar with that area, and watching from that area, have family there, need to seek shelter. I think the strongest part of that storm is now just north of the Cookeville area, just barely north. And just to kind of back up and kind of see we're just going back and forth. See, it's moving very fast. That's over a 15-minute time frame. So a good broad rotation there showing up on radar. Let's see if we can get a brief update on that warning there. Okay, this was updated about 8 minutes ago. This is just a text from their warning. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Gainsboro, moving east at 40. This is a radar indicated rotation, which is what we're seeing right now. So no confirmation of touchdown there. But nevertheless, in those areas, need to seek shelter immediately. And that includes Overton, Putnam, and Jackson County, Tennessee. And I believe there's a new update there. I just saw the flash on the screen. Let's go to it. I think they just extended that. That's the same one. That's the severe thunderstorm warning. I believe they just updated that. Tell you what. Yeah, they've extended that warning. That's the severe thunderstorm warning. Let's take a look at that. A lot of these overlap themselves. So I'm just going to isolate the tornado warnings, leave the severe thunderstorm warnings off. Just for the minute. I don't know why it's not giving me the query on that. There we go. Yeah, they extended the time till 6:45. I don't know why I did that. Sometimes the computer gets a little tricky on that. A little sensitive on the on there. Here's an update here. Now that extension of that tornado warning now until 6:45 Central, 7:45 Eastern. This is still a Doppler radar indicated rotation. No confirmation with the latest update. That's for southern Overton, southeastern Jackson, northeastern Putnam County. They had the storm located near Allgood, or about 8 miles north of Cookeville, moving east at 40. So again, that's right on the edge of Cumberland County, but Cumberland's not in that warning just yet. So here's Cumberland County right here. And I have a feeling that as it moves east, it may just clip the northern part of the county there. There's a quick movement over the past hour, but rather quickly in the past 24 minutes since the top of the hour, it's moving rather rapidly there just north of Cookeville. Oh, shit. Let's take a look at the, there you have it. Yep. There it is, just north of Cookeville. It's not pointing the direction it's going. We're just measuring here. So it's just to the north of the Cookeville area. But that's awfully, awfully close. And what I'm pointing out here, not that. The mouse is a little not working tonight. Not spray some WD-40 on it or something. There we go. You can see the rotation showing up. It's right there. Right in here, close to the Rickman area, just north of Cookeville. That's some broad rotation with it, but no, there's been no confirmation, no confirmed touchdown. I had Blake ask you that question here. So Blake, thanks for your question there. But no, it's still Doppler radar indicated tornado warning there. Let's see. Hello, Debbie. Thanks for watching in Whitwell. Hello, Sharon and Dalton. Hello, Ronnie. Hey, Brianna. Thanks for watching. Hello, Teresa, Linda. Again, these are just outside our viewing area, but close enough, close to Cumberland County where we're keeping a close eye on things. And just wanting to make sure that, you guys are warned ahead of time and not caught by surprise. We don't like that. So again, let me navigate away from this storm for a second and just show you again that we're mostly watching this for the northern part of Cumberland County. I think the storm will probably stay north of Crossville, but still probably impact or affect that northern part of Cumberland County between 6:30 and 7 Central. But the rest of our viewing area, things are relatively quiet, okay? I think for the rest of us, we're keeping an eye, not necessarily here. Those will move mainly east with time, although Knoxville's got to watch that. We're going to keep an eye on things back here, which back here, they're not too strong back there, but it is ahead of a front. There's been some heating today. We got up close to 70, 69 officially. And but we didn't get much sun. It's not much destabilization. So there is some fuel, not a whole lot, but more of that energy has been with an area of low pressure that was near Nashville. And that's why we're seeing these storms a little stronger and more of these warning boxes. And several of those are tornado warnings farther north into parts of Kentucky, far eastern Kentucky near London. So 3 ongoing tornado warnings just outside our viewing area, and we're watching that carefully for northern Cumberland County. But especially just north of Cookeville is where that storm is now. So again, what we have is a front that's moving south and east with time. There's been a little more energy up in here, and the reason why a lot of those storms are moving east, and you know what that is, folks? That purple box, that's a new severe thunderstorm warning. Severe thunderstorm watch, out till midnight. That is a new watch box that's out until midnight. For now, it does not include any of our local counties yet. We'll see if there's any extension in that. But just to zoom on that a little bit more, it's just outside our viewing area, and it's no doubt watching the storms that are back here. See, they're aligned right there. So this whole watch box includes parts of Virginia, Kentucky, and eastern parts of Tennessee. So Knoxville Metro under that, but it just cuts off right outside our viewing area. And our viewing area is outlined in the darker shaded county area. Cumberland, not technically in the Chattanooga, what we call Market DMA, but we know we have viewers in Cumberland County and Crossville, so we've always included Crossville as one of our counties. That's the reason why we cover it. But again, that's a new severe thunderstorm watch box. But again, that does not include our viewing area. That's out to midnight Eastern. So there's more energy, again, in that northern part than there is in that southern part with the front. Let me look at one thing here on another screen. Sorry, I don't mean to be silent. I'm on another screen here. This one, I'm checking a few things. Yeah, they don't. That new watch does not include any of our local counties there. So it does not include any of our local counties, but still it's just to the outside. And you see the reason why they have that watch and effect, because drape just to their west is along that front, more energy there. So they're going to watch those storms move eastward with time. All right, let's go back here. Take a look at that storm as it draws closer to that far northern tip of Cumberland County. It's now pulling away from the Cookeville area, at least the strongest rotation with that. Let's go and take a look at it one more time. We'll isolate it there, right along 111. It's more of a broad rotation now. A little bit more broad. Still centered near that Rickman area. 111 and just to the west of Monterey on Tennessee Highway 84. Again, this is the area just north of the Cookeville area, if you're familiar with that. And so again, these are kind of just skating by just north of our viewing area. But I know we have viewers there. And if you want some update on that, I appreciate you joining us and the reason why we're here. And again, we're just kind of keeping an eye on things for that area, but also, watching the outer edge of that tornado warning box gets close to Cumberland County, one of our, what we consider our local viewing area. But even with that said, Crossville's here. That storm will probably move east. Get this mouse to work. I got a bad mouse. If it moves more east, it'll stay north of Crossville and probably affect that far northern part of Cumberland. So let's put a tracker on it here. We're just going to track the strongest part of that storm, moving east at 40. And again, it might impact that far northern part of Cumberland on the plateau and affect these communities. Notice Central versus Eastern time. You cross the time zone there. At Lansing, Deer Lodge, those are in Eastern time. The others are in Central time. Again, thanks everybody for watching tonight. We're just keeping an eye on things across our viewing area. A lot of this activity is just outside the viewing area, but nevertheless, we're keeping an eye on things for you. If there is a warning for Cumberland and we have to go on air, I'll have to end this stream and go on air. Just be aware of that. So if there's any coverage, I'll have to stop this stream and join the live coverage. That's part of, we have to make that balance between digital streaming and streaming on air when need be. Have to multitask. We have other showers in the local viewing area. Let's take a look south of Crossville to about Spring City. It is breezy. It is wet. There might be a little bit of lightning with time. So some showers near Spring City, right along the Bledsoe and Ray County line, but not severe. But I know you're seeing all that action going on well to the north. Same thing in Crossville. It's going to be a bit breezy there with that cell passing by to your north. But I think the worst part of that will stay north of Crossville. But that area between Clark Range, Jamestown, over to Lansing, this is that area that's going to have to watch this if it holds together. Again, this particular tornado warning out until 45 after the hour, so 6:45 Central, 7:45 Eastern. And just to show you again, there seems to be more energy, even though the front drapes here, there's more energy right along I-40 and north and east in this general area. And as it moves to the east, you can see why that new severe thunderstorm watch box has been put out, which includes Knoxville up to just south of the Tri-Cities. So that's the new severe thunderstorm watch out till midnight. But again, it doesn't include any of our local counties. But it does include most of the Knoxville metro. So if you have friends, families, students at UT, you definitely want to let them know, be aware of this. These storms draw closer, that there is somewhat of a threat. You need to stay tuned to local officials there, local stations. They can provide updates as that storm draws closer to Knoxville. Now I would say, with it being 7:35, I'd say the 8 to 9 p.m. time frame. Some of those storms reaching near Knoxville. But the remainder of our viewing area, not a whole lot going on. We will keep an eye, for the rest of us, we'll keep an eye on this activity. This is in advance of the main front. I mean, there's still some energy out there as it moves to the east, but none of these are really that strong yet. We'll keep an eye on things because you'll start seeing everything's moving east and then it'll start kind of dropping southeast with time. So it's moving that way now. And then as we go toward late evening, there'll be more of a push more southeast with the front. But again, that watch was issued up in here. Look at all those warnings there. And that's the reason why they're giving that severe thunderstorm watch out farther east for upper East Tennessee, Southern Kentucky, and southwestern Virginia, far southwestern Virginia. And the farther south you go, North Georgia, the threat level is very minimal right now. I know a lot of folks in North Georgia are watching, but for right now, it's pretty minimal. Check out another screen here. All right. All right, let's go back to that tornado warning cell there in that area just north of Cumberland County. There it is, just north of Monterey. And this is a tornado warning here out to 645 Central. And we're looking at the velocity scan. What we're doing here is looking at the winds within the storm and still seeing a little bit of rotation there. Rickman, north of Monterey. See, move that general direction. Hey, everything okay? Okay, making sure. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you hear those buzzwords. Yeah, but you can see right in there is what we'd be technically watching for. So it's a little bit more ragged than before, but nevertheless, that warning is still in effect. And you've heard respect the polygon. That's what you do. If you're in that warned area, seek shelter, stay there till this passes on by. And we'll have to see, in the next 10 minutes, there might be some extension of that warning. We'll have to see if that includes any part of Cumberland and areas farther east with that storm still having somewhat of some rotation there, but it's mainly Doppler radar indicated. We've had no confirmation of any touchdown. So again, that just kind of gives you the outline there. Jackson, Tennessee, Overton County, Tennessee, Putnam County, Tennessee. I keep saying Jackson, Tennessee, just so there's no confusion with Jackson County, Alabama. Yeah, still moving east at 40 miles an hour. All right, let's see who's got Hannah watching. Hello, Cynthia. Hello, Brianna. Brianna in a long conversation here. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Ashley. So again, I believe that storm's going to pass again north of Crossville, but I think it's going to probably affect at least somewhat that far northern fringe of Cumberland County. So we'll see what the National Weather Service does in the next few minutes as this warning expires in 5 minutes, and they'll probably make an extension somewhat, whether it be a tornado warning or severe thunderstorm warning. And as you can see, if we expand the view just a bit, there's a whole line of other warnings. Look at that. Several severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings. from just I-75 across the Kentucky state line all the way to the Virginia state line. Wow. And that's the reason why that new watch is out, which includes Knoxville Metro. And there's the movement over the past hour. There's so much more energy. It's amazing how there's more energy in that area where there was an area of low pressure along that front, just enough that made that area a bit more buoyant. And you drop south of I-40, back into this area near the main front, and there's not as much. We still have to watch things. Can't ignore it. So watch things through the rest of the late evening. But we're hopeful this will stay weak. But, we can't control it. Weather's going to do what it wants to do. So we're going to wait and see if there's an extension with this. Let's go ahead and show you again. Velocity scan within the storm. Still have broad rotation there near Crawford. And that's the velocity scan. Shows more of a broader rotation there, but nevertheless still indicated by radar. It's just south of Livingston, now well northeast of Cookeville. Tina asking, what about Englewood and Etowah? Right now, Englewood, Etowah is okay. I'll just give you a little bit of a view here. Down your way in McMinn County, not a whole lot going on. There's going to be some passing showers, but right now, all of this we're showing you, these severe storms that I'm focused on, north of Cookeville and north of Crossville, not going to impact you, okay? Those will slide just north of you. Was a bit more lightning with this over the past hour. Let me just back it up a second. You can see number of lightning strikes is higher with that cell right in here. Now a little bit less. I mean, it's still generating that, but it's a little bit less than it was. I don't know if that's going to impact its strength. Sometimes it can give indication of the strength a little bit. And again, this tornado warning over that area, north and west of Cumberland County, expires in about 3 minutes. We'll see what the determination is here when they extend that, whether severe thunderstorm warning or continued tornado warning. Again, there it is. Just set it. And there's the new extension there. So let me. So now Cumberland County is under that warning. So this is what we've been focused on here. That's out till 7:15. This will be for the north central Cumberland County. Again, this is a Doppler radar indicated tornado warning. This is out until 7:15 Central, 8:15 Eastern. Again, this now includes north central Cumberland County. The polygon itself is to the north of Crossville, so it does not include Crossville. It's mainly for that far northwestern part. The rest of it is over Fentress, Overton, and Putnam County. But again, that's a new tornado warning out until 7:15 Central, 8:15 Eastern, roughly the next half hour. Storm moving east at 35 miles an hour, but it's for the exact same storm we're watching. Okay, so what we've been kind of concerned about as we started this feed was concerned about Cumberland County, and there you have it. But again, it's areas north of Crossville. So if you're in Crossville and you got this warning out, if you had an advisor for the entire county, yes, technically is for Cumberland, but the polygon itself is north of Crossville. So that's out till 8:15 Eastern time. And there's the storm itself just to the west. Let me make sure we have, yes. I can see our screen. I can make sure we had that up on the air there. So we'll stay on this feed here. And may have to briefly break away to go on air here momentarily. But as you can see, it's just for the far northern fringe of Cumberland County right here. So it's not going to be impactful to Crossville. Crossville, you are going to have some rain there, but not these cells are not severe. Looking at other questions here. Sharon asking about Chattooga County. Sharon, Chattooga County is fine right now. There's some showers, but the severe threat overall for Chattooga County is pretty low. Okay, there'll be some showers and thunder possible on a scattered basis as we go through the evening hours and overnight, but not like what we're seeing to the north right now. Hope that answers your question. Brian asking, with all this warm weather right now, are we going to get slammed with winter weather later this month? Hey, anything's possible. Is winter over? No. We've gone through this before. As quickly as it was, in the single digits 3 weeks ago, now it's in the 70s. We can easily go back the other direction. So March is a long month. March is known for having all 4 seasons in a month. So, over the next 5 to 7 days, I don't see anything wintry. It'll be cooler, a lot wetter next week, but I don't see anything wintry, at least for the next 5 to 7. You can look at long-range trends, and there are some trends that indicate maybe toward the end of the month, some colder air coming back, and it's possible. We just have to wait and see, but winter's not over. No, we're not done yet. As far as any winter precipitation, you have to wait and see on that. You got to get cold air first, and we have very active weather pattern next several days, a lot of moisture, but not a lot of cold air with it. And by the time the cold air gets here, do you still have the moisture? It's only time will tell the answer to that. So if that answers your question there. Nikki asking about tornado risk for Rossville tonight. Nikki, that risk for Rossville, Georgia is pretty low, okay? It's not zero, it's pretty low. It's not like what we're seeing right now north of Crossville. So I just want to show you, we're zoomed in on Crossville, but look at the entire viewing area. Okay, other than Cumberland County with some showers and the threat of that tornado on the far northern fringe of the county, the rest of our viewing area is pretty quiet. There'll be some showers and thunder later on this evening after the early stage of the overnight, but probably not what they're seeing to the north, unless things drastically change back here to the west. Let's make sure our alert bug is up on the screen, and it is. So folks in Cumberland County can see that. And again, for those tuning in, seeing this, for Cumberland County, it's the far northern fringe of the county. That's why we're keeping a close eye on things. And we'll keep this feed going as long as it's a threat to that part of the county. As you can see, activity picking up a bit, Spring City to Crossville to Pleasant Hill. But again, these are not severe. There's downpours, there's wind with it, but at this point, not severe. It's maybe that other storm to the north. Let's do a velocity scan on it, see if things have changed any. Yeah, still broad rotation. You can clearly see it. I'll back it up. See, it's near Crawford, right there. Broad rotation. Again, this is a Doppler radar indicated tornado warning. We've had no indication of a touchdown yet that we know of, although sometimes reports lag behind that. So again, if you're in that area or know someone who's in that polygon, tell them to seek shelter and until this storm passes by. It's best to be in a safe place. I see someone saying, I'll take 2 feet of snow over tornado warnings. I understand that, but I don't know. I don't know if I want 2 feet of snow either. It's just me. I don't get to enjoy snow like you all do. Yeah, when I have to deal with snow, I'm in here working. My kids are 28, 29. And of all the snow I've been here and covered in the past 18 years, I've never had a snow day with them. I don't get to enjoy it with them. I have to work. It's part of the job. So I don't know what life is like to be playing in the snow. Maybe we'll go on a ski trip or something and enjoy it then. Okay, these are non-severe cells. Crossville, right along 127, headed towards Crab Orchard. So I know in Crossville, you've seen that warning. You got the roar of the rain, wondering what's going on. That tornado warning storm is in the far northern part of the county. It's north of Crossville. So I just want you to know that for those who may be watching there. So a bit of lift picking up and heavier downpours picking up. Got the same thing up near Spring City now, north and east, up near 10 Mile. But these are not severe cells. Again, you can see the march of these cells right here. And that is why that new watch box was issued for Upper East Tennessee. Doesn't include any of our counties locally. But that new severe thunderstorm watch is out, which includes most of the Knoxville Metro and southwest of Bristol until about midnight Eastern. It probably won't take that long for the storm to clear that area that long, but, it'll stay there. Wanda asking, are you live right now? Yes. It is currently 7:51 p.m. Eastern time. We're live. Let's go back to the live radar feed. There we go. And that storm itself is just going to clip right along that northern fringe of Cumberland County. Again, this is that new tornado warning box, warning polygon. And again, that is out until 8:15 Eastern, 7:15 Central. Check one of the other computers over here for a second. All right. Yes, look at another question here. Yes, Austin. Yeah, I can't play in the snow, can't play in the tornadoes either. No. Can't do that either. That's true. But tornado days, I'm here too. All right, here's our main weather maker. It's this front. And again, there's more energy along this front here, stretching into Kentucky, Virginia. The reason why that area here has that new severe thunderstorm watch out. Again, it is not including of our local counties. But the farther southwest you go, there are some showers percolating there, but at the moment, not severe. We hope it stays that way. Okay, but as we go through the late stages of the evening and beyond midnight, this front will quickly move south and east, and a lot of that energy, that fuel for the storms, will move east as well. So beyond midnight, it won't be quite as bad. See Caitlin asking, anything coming towards Murphy, Andrews? Well, you had those storms around, between 5 and 6 this evening. Those that we're focused on now, these storms, those will stay north of you. There will be the main front. It's not going to rule out some rain and thunder, late evening and through the early stages of the overnight, but not like what they're seeing to our north of Crossville. And there you can see, and I'm just focused on our viewing area as a whole. So most of our viewing areas in the clear right now. There are some showers, northern Bledsoe, northern parts of Ray. But again, that tornado warning is just from that far northern fringe of Cumberland County, which technically is outside our viewing area. But we, as I've said in this feed before, we have a lot of viewers in Crossville. So I wanted to make sure you all knew what was going on with that tornado threat to your north. That tornado warning storm will stay to your north. It is raining heavily in Crossville, but it's not part of that storm. And then they've just extended that warning for areas farther east. This is moving pretty fast. That's over Morgan County, which would be just northwest of Harriman, till 8:30 Eastern. So again, it's radar indicated rotation, which is what we've been seeing in the velocity scan there. And again, for this part of Cumberland County, that warning's out till about the next 20 minutes. But as you can see, it's moving pretty quickly. Reflectivity is a little bit lower as far as rainfall. I mean, it's still raining heavily, but not at the same clip. See, now we're in range of the Morristown radar, so it's still a bit more of a broad rotation there. A little bit broad. And we'll check these other cells. These are primarily just rain in them. Yeah. Nothing there. Nothing there, which you can see. Still some very broad rotation there. So that's just northeast of Monterey. Moving east about 35 miles an hour. And again, we've had some downpours pass by. I'm sorry to keep moving it around. Hope I'm not making you dizzy. Trying to get the bearing there. We've had some downpours move by Spring City, 10 Mile and toward Crossville. But again, those are not severe. Not severe. And again, it looks like that part of that storm is going to slide just north, just right on the Cumberland County line. Now, you can see back here, storm's picking up a bit. You can see a little bit more oranges and reds showing up. So, again, downpours towards Columbia, Lawrenceburg, but again, at this time, they're not strong yet. None of these are warned, no advisories with them, but this is why we're still going to see as the evening goes on, some showers and storms moving on by. A big question of, will they become strong enough to warrant any warnings or not? So for the majority of us, we're going to be watching this activity back here as it moves to the east and then generally to the southeast. There'll be a little bit more of a southerly push as the evening goes on. But all this activity here, that's to the north of Crossville. Okay, that is all headed more toward the east. So it'll be north of Harriman, but folks in Oak Ridge, Knoxville, and then crossing the Tennessee River, got to watch if this storm holds together. And again, we got downpours in other parts of the viewing area, but nothing severe. It's just kind of a warm, breezy night. Missed a record high by 1 degree. It's been a warm start to February. And these cells back here, again, they're picking up a little bit. No lightning with them. That's good. So it's a little less energy to work with. There's been far more energy here, north and east. And again, if we go to this next map, you can see why that had that new severe thunderstorm watch issued for Upper East Tennessee, but again, that doesn't include any of our local counties. So we'll keep an eye on this until that warning for that part of Cumberland County expires, and we won't stay on all night long. We'll take a little bit of a break from this feed in a little while and rejoin when we need to. And I want to remind you, for those of you viewing tonight, there is no Fox Chattanooga newscast tonight. The NFL Honors is on tonight, where they hand out all the MVPs, Hall of Fame, all of that. So that'll go on, I think, till midnight. So there's no Fox Chattanooga newscast, but News Channel 911 will air at normal time. And that's how we utilize the digital feeds in case there's anything going on. Again, this is one of those cases where we would normally be on air, but I like to join you on the digital feeds on the YouTube channel, Facebook Live, because storms are that close. So you're not caught off guard. That's why we do these feeds. But again, there's a whole viewing area. Again, it's primarily very light activity, really strong stuff, and really watching was all that activity north of Crossville. And still some heavy downpours near Crossville, but not at this point, again, not of a severe nature. That worst part of that storm is just right on the county line. It's amazing how it's staying right on the county line. And you can see that storm's about to move out of that one polygon into the next polygon, which is in Morgan County. And again, it's more broad rotation with it. Not as impressive, but still, nevertheless, respect that warning. If you're in that warning, have family in that warning, you got to respect the warning, respect the polygon. And all across Cumberland County, there are scattered downpours here in the past hour, quickly moving in that upper level flow, but again, not severe. Yes, Hannah, I agree. Trust me, if there was breaking weather, we would break into that NFL show. Don't worry about that. That would always be the case. We're just telling you there's no newscast for tonight. But no. If there was ever, warnings of any kind locally, no matter what's on the air, we're going to break in. People don't like it when we break into Jeopardy. Doesn't matter. Saving lives is more important. I know people get mad at sometimes it's not their neighborhood, and I understand that, but we all neighborhoods are treated equally. If there's a warning for Chattooga County, it's just as equal if there's a warning for McMinn County locally. And that's why on this digital feed, we're closely watching all this, just kind of dancing around our viewing area, just so you're updated, so you're not caught off guard. And again, that warning for that northern part of Cumberland will end at about 8:15. And that's what we've been watching and hearing being live for the past hour. Looks a little bit more broad, that storm does. We're getting more of these heavy downpours, Spring City to Rockwood, kind of zipping on by. None of those have rotation in it. I'm not seeing any storm tracks on there. Yeah, none of those are. I'm on a different screen, radar screen here. None of those are severe, and that's good. So it's starting to see a bit more picking up here with the main front from, say, Cookeville to Murfreesboro. It's right along that front. But again, these are not severe. It's just some downpours right along the main front, and we hope it stays that way and doesn't escalate anymore. But that's what we'll keep an eye on. So if you're just joining us, wondering what's going on, this activity up in here where it's strongest is headed toward mainly Knoxville metro area, and all the worst activity is mainly north. We are watching for the remainder of the evening all this activity right out in here in advance of cold front. So there's a little bit of instability, a little bit of fuel for the storms to use. These are all going to move mainly to the east and gradually southeast with time and push some showers across our viewing area this evening late, from mid-evening to about midnight, and then shift to the south and east after midnight. Severe threat is on the low side. You're looking at where the greater threat is north of the city now. And we'll just keep an eye on if those get any stronger later on with time. But that'll be something, we're going to break away in a few minutes from this feed. And, then we'll keep an eye on things for the next few hours. And if need be, start a new feed. But that's what we're watching for the rest of the night. The threat levels, just to go over this one more time. And Storm Prediction Center has actually updated this a little bit. So let me refresh that number for a second. Got to move those over. So just got to move those over a little bit. They've done a little readjusting here. So you can see mainly it's at the far northern fringe of our viewing area with that level 2 threat. And really the level 1 threat kind of really drops off right near downtown. So as you can see, it's just, for the far northern part of our viewing area. So we'll see everybody else in that level 1 risk. Let's see if the damaging wind threat has changed. Yeah. In fact, let me update this also. This is now just 5%. A lot of these areas from the 15, it's now dropped to 5. So I'm going to adjust this on the fly. Boom. Let's check out that 15. There it goes. So for most of us locally, it is a 5% chance. So we like when things lower. That's a good thing. Tornado risk, I'm sure that's going to shrink just a little bit. And it's mainly in the areas where it is now. It's still about a 2% chance. It's just keeping an eye on that activity that's crossing now and moving east. So again, it's mainly for areas far north and east, mainly from this area around like I-40. So things have improved a bit. So the farther south you go, the threat level is a lot lower. And just to show you on our future track, this takes us to about 9:30. This is just a computer model guess. But anyway, the front lining up about here over the next hour. Storms potentially. Some heavy downpours, Dayton, over around Knoxville. But notice how we get to about 10, 11:30. There's a shift eastward with that heavier threat. Still some showers around the city. But once you get past midnight, a lot of this starts trending away. So yes, across North Georgia, there will be some rain, potentially some thunder across North Georgia, but severe threat's pretty low. A lot less energy the farther south you go. And tomorrow, Friday, it's going to be a cooler day. When you step outside, it won't be like it has been. It'll be upper 40s, low 50s much of the day. You need the jackets again. An umbrella at times. Kind of a gloomy looking day, but a little bit of sun here and there, but a passing shower, but nothing severe. But we kind of stuck in the 50s throughout the day. We may briefly make it to 60 in spots, but it's going to be a cool day coming up. And then Saturday, get the 70s back. There it is. It's now crossing from one polygon to the other. And it's about to move out of northern Cumberland County. Still quite a bit of rain from Crossville to Spring City, but again, not severe. And again, activity picking up. We're going to start seeing more scattered showers locally as all this out in here moves more east, southeast with that front, which is to keep an eye on things. But for now, not severe. Look at one more thing here. So the energy, again, is a lot weaker here than it is up in here. There's far more energy to the north, the reason why that thread has been just outside our viewing area. It's amazing how you draw it up. I mean, that thing's just been curling just around northern Cumberland County. And there's Sunbright. Yeah, Sunbright, not immune. Sunbright had that bad tornado. Was it early last year? I believe it was last year or 2 years ago. So I'm not saying it's the same thing, but a pretty nasty storm still coming their way and still under that. Sunbright is technically under that tornado warning. So Sunbright not immune to this. I believe that was a wintertime storm that occurred there last year. And that's in Morgan County, right on 27. But again, Cumberland County is now out of this warning. So the Cumberland County, your warning has ended. So you're out of that, which is good. But keep an eye on that for Morgan County and then areas north and west of Harriman. As that warned storm continues moving to the east, again, there's still some broad rotation with that. It's Doppler radar indicated rotation. So again, it's see it right in here. So it's still showing signs of that right in here. So it'll probably pass just to the south of Sunbright, right along 27. So it's a fairly nasty storm, worthy of seeking shelter. And the reason why that tornado warning is in effect because there could be a tornado with that. But for the remainder of our viewing area in Cumberland County, it's primarily some brisk downpours moving by. And we've got some more rain and thunder coming our way between now and 11 o'clock. Watching this activity move to the east and southeast. Though again, it's not severe at the moment, but of course we'll watch that. So folks, we're going to break away from this feed now that that has cleared that far northern part of Cumberland. But thanks so much for watching. We'll have another update if necessary as the evening goes on. And join us again on News Channel 911 for a full update. And by then, we'll have some showers over us, and it'll start kind of moving on out through the overnight hours, and nothing severe tomorrow. Okay? All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a safe night, and we'll keep you updated.